Hi everyone. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Welcome to another session of pre-scene analysis for December 2024 attempt. Uh, we have covered this content so far, in which we have read completely the introduction of particularly the case. I guess the most important thing, because it tells you the industry, it tells you the things like what exactly you should be doing. Then we have the event management industry. We know about Harlan's event management industry. We have done these green figures, right? We have done these green figures, and today's target is to cover these three factors of particularly of our company. In case if you haven't seen any part of this, kindly go on my channel and see the parts, right? Now, if we go on to the Rodnim events overview, so what Rodnim is, they have guided here, like on the first page, what's our background is, then how our organization is structured, and this is how the requirements could be more predicted because they tell you about the organization. So far, you don't know about anything but event management industry yet, right? Just forget all the things and think of event management industry, think of Harlan, think these figures, right? And now you will be given that in Harlan, in event management industry, there is a company named Rodnim. So now you will be learning about your company so that you can relate that in industry or in country where exactly you lie on, right? And apart from that, they also for the first time have skipped the financial MERS, and they have given about the tenders related data. So I believe that there could be a significant questions regarding the tenders as well, right? Like how to win a particular tender. If you have been into the pharmaceutical companies or kind of a companies that tenders a lot, so this can be a question like how you can win a tender or what can be benefits of winning a tender. These type of questions can also be there because they have skipped the financial numbers for the first time. If you have seen the previous pre-scenes, they gave you the revenue trend, they gave you the NP margin trend, they gave you all these kind of a trends, but this time they have skipped the trend and they are giving you this time they have skipped the trend and they are giving you the tenders related information, right? So, well, today's target is to read the overview and try to cover as much as possible so that we close this pre-scene and move towards the remaining part of the crash, right? Now, Rodnim Events is one of the smaller events management business based in Harlem. So now I believe that we are the smaller company, right? We are the smaller company. We are not one of the biggest companies there, right? Now, Rodney specializes in managing events for corporate and private clients, right? So that means that you are not good in other factors. You must have alliances, but you deal with corporate and private clients, right? You deal with corporate and private clients. Now, Rodnim operates as a partnership. They tell you earlier as well, right? That we operate as a partnership. This was told as earlier, and the partnership was established 6 years ago. So we are the recent ones. We haven't got a much history, right? We haven't got much history, right? And because of that, if you haven't got much history, there's a very less chance. One of the students asked me that, so can culture be tested? So there's a very less chance that culture can be tested because culture is derived from history. And if you have very less history, so there's very little kind of a chances that culture can particularly be tested, right? So Rodnim operates as a partnership. The partnership was established 6 years ago by two friends, Amanda Hope and Sefi Du Bois. See, these names are mandatory. I'm highlighting that. You must be remembering these names. In fact, these names could be used. In fact, these names could be used in exam, right? In fact, these names could be used in exam while linking with scenario. Just a second, guys. Yeah. So who had previously worked together as event managers for one of the Harlem's largest events management company. So now, see, it's kind of a story we'll be seeing. I told you there are certain movies on this type of a story as well. That there were two friends, Amanda and Sefi, and what they did, they were working as an event managers in Harlem's largest events management companies. So they particularly started their own company, right? So it's kind of a story that they related and they started their own journey. So now Rodham does not have any formal or informal cooperation or collaboration arrangements in place with other businesses as the partners wish to preserve Rodham's independence. Now, see, they were saying that industry is preferring alliances, whereas they are saying that in our company, we are not forming a cooperative or a collaboration arrangements because we want to be independent. So in industry, we can relate here that in industry, alliances are focused, right? In order to get max client portfolio, so that if any of the client of music concert came to me and I'm not experienced, so I'll refer it to my alliance. But in our company, now there's a company of yours, right, Rodden? They are not preferring collaboration. Now, this is an issue then, right? If they're not preferring collaboration, they must be able to tackle each and everything. If they are only in two segments, if they're smaller, if they are dealing with two segments, so that means they couldn't be competing well in the market if they are not alliancing, because they are going against the industry. Unless they have some good particular reports and records, I don't think that this would be a good thing. But for to maintain independence, they have decided, okay, we are not making an alliance. Okay. Now, these are the two directors or the founders, Amanda and Sefi, and are responsible for direction of Rodney and have ultimate management responsibility and control. Amanda oversees the entire events management program, and Sefi is charge of marketing and customer service. So both of them have particular roles as well. One deals the management and the other deals marketing. So you should be making a structure as well that there are two people, Amanda and Sefi, and here, in fact, they have made it. Right? Oh, sorry, I missed it. They have made it. That what they'll be doing, they'll be one is managing partner of event program management, and they are managing Sefi Du Bois's managing partner, but marketing and customer services. Right now, Rodney has 34 full-time employees operating a single office in Harland's capital city. See, now it's not a big office. While seeing just 34 employees, I can say that it's an small business, right? It's an small business. So if it's a small business, that means that you should be giving some requirements that are related to the private entity, or there could be a requirement as well of listed entity conversion. They might be going for some bigger projects, right? So they might want to grow. So if they're in smaller business, if there's an potential for growth, so there's an highly chances that future projects like or SFA models are tested here. The model SFA or any growth prospect, because what I see here that there can be either a chance that they want to grow. There can be other chance, right? And although we'll be reading the complete case, and we might know the requirements as well, but here, if there's a small entity, there's a high chance that they want to grow. And if they want to grow, there's a high chance that they test SFA, right? So let's just go on to the page and see the growth prospects as well. Right? So we got the growth prospects as well. Now, Rodney employs 3 managers who directly report to managing partners. These 3 managers form the management team, and Amanda and Sefi. So greens are the executives, and these are three are the managing team. Now, green ones are the executive or the partner, we'll be saying. And then we have our three led team managers, which reports to both of us, right? Which reports to both of us. Now, Mirza Hosni has worked in the events management for over 20 years. She joined Rodney 3 years ago. So we have another experienced employee here, right? We have another experienced employee. We were the experienced one, but we have some other experienced employees as well. Just like 20 years is a good lifetime of experience, right? Then Dika Nikosi is 22 years old and recent graduate. So it's a new joiner, or we can say a lower expertise here, right? And then is a qualified accountant and has been with the beginning. So that means he has an experience of 6 years. So that means the total experience count lies here, and therefore they are head of event planning. Mirza Hosni, he is manager, but he has 20 years of experience. Whereas they both are kind of a new, it has 6 years of experience and it has a recent graduate. Now, a question arises that how does a recent graduate gets the manager? We don't know that, but this could be skeptical as well. But again, this is towards the later part that or kind of a personal point of view that how did this get manager? But they are right. Experienced graduate, they get the opportunity. Now, a summary of the areas of responsibility assigned to each member is detailed below. Now, see what are the responsibilities they have assigned. Now, what are the responsibilities they have assigned? Just see that. Amanda Hope is business planning, budgets, and tenders. So tenders lies to Amanda Hope. Now, this is an important one, right? Because I'm predicting a requirement. So while starting that requirement, if any requirement on tenders came, what you'll do, that tenders are headed by Amanda Hope, and you'll continue with the requirement. So that means you have read case study and you have read pre-scene as well, right? So tenders headed by Amanda Hope, right? Now, Safi Dubois, marketing activities, website management, client liaison. So mainly, I see the marketing here is to the partner. Then Mirza is event schedule and planning, venue sourcing, resources procurement, supplier contracts. So I believe this seems to me be a key employee. So what would be the case that this industry is seeing the staff shortages, right? In the industry analysis, we had an idea. So if this employee went, what's going to happen, right? Do we have succession planning? Do we have any other person who can replace him? Because 20 years cannot be replaced that much easily, right? So as far as experience and the work is concerned, I see that he seems to be a key employee. In later part, I don't know what happens, right? Then we have event coordination, events delivery, project management, event risk management. This lies to Dicano Nicosi, and here it's related to projects, right? And then Jimmy Etros, it's admin, financial control and reporting, IT supports, and there's an highly likely that the finance guys are involved in IT as well. So it's not uncertain. It's in fact certain. In fact, the entities that I worked in, my IT department have reported to CFO as well. So sometimes, maximum times, the IT department is under the finance admin, right? So Rodney employs temporary staff to support events when needed. Now operations, then the diagram below illustrates the 6 stages in the process of tendering of corporate events. The process is used to plan, control, and deliver events to clients. So guys, here we can see that there are 6 stages of tendering. I don't know why, but they have emphasized tender more, right? I seem to be here that they have emphasized tender more in our scenario. It was not that much emphasized. I don't think so that it was that much emphasized in industry, but I see here that it is emphasized in particularly to this head, right, in our case study. Okay, so let's have, oh, there are certain finance numbers as well, so we can see, but there are tenders as well, right? So here we have, yeah, this includes uh, arranging for temporary staff to work at the events in areas such as security, hospitality, technical support. So that means we do not hire these staff, right? We do not hire these staff. And in fact, maximum of event planners in industry do not hire the staff, right? They just, at requirement, ask them to work. So it is not your fixed cost, right? It saves your fixed cost. Now, this process has been progressively developed and refined by Ron Nim and able to deliver consistent, high quality events now. Now, see the process of tendering. If they're giving you the process of tendering or process of something, so that means they're surely going to be testing it, guys. If they have made a complete page on this particular thing, tender, so there can be certain requirements for tenders. Now, there can be an issue of new tenders, there can be a particular issue of old tenders, and there can be an issue of losing of tenders or winning of tenders, anything, but there's uncertainty that the requirement on tender can come, right? There's uncertainty that the requirement on tender can come easily. So let's write here. Some of the students have asked me about this PDF, so I'll be sending it, don't worry. But once my analysis is complete, right? So requirement on tender, any sort, right? Either it can be a new tender or it can be a question on tender, questioning previous tender. Anything can be tested, right? Now, so how the tenders are done? It's event initiation. We receive the invitation tender document, right? Agreement specification determines success criteria. So what do? We receive the invitation first. The first thing is that the event event one, those who want to be events to be solved, they just come to us, right? If they want the events to be solved, they just come to us. So that's event initiation. Then we have outline planning, right? Now, what's outline planning? It's draft project initiation document that appoint event manager, outline budget, submit tender, sign contract if tender is successful. So I guess the maximum time that's required is here, right? The maximum time that occupies is this, because here you're making budgets, you need to be competitive, right? You need to be sound. If in case if you're new, so you need to keep your price low. These all are the sort of the questions they can ask, right? These all are the sort of the questions they can ask. Now, detailed planning. So schedule event program, logistical arrangement, detailed budgeting. So there isn't detailed budgeting, right? At this stage, outline budgets are made, whereas at this stage, the budgets of detailed are made, but they are not made to the clients, right? Here we do the client budgeting, here we do the each and everything that's required, right? Like logistical arrangements, the detailed budgeting, which are made here, right? Which are made here. But obviously, we need to import it. We need to make sure that each and everything that we have outlined in tender, we are achieving. Like this cannot happen if you have mentioned something in tender and you are not mentioning in actual, right? Or you're not doing in actual. So you need to make sure, right? that you are detailed, you are giving details of planning, or you are noting each and everything. Okay. So schedule of event program, logistical arrangements, detailed budgeting, and obviously this will be time taking too. Then event organization, guys. Set up event team, book the venue, and this team might not be the employees only. They can be the workers, shift workers, or arrange. We need to arrange that, right? Then book the venue, arrange the supplier, issue tickets. Now these all are the heads of our event managers. It was here, right? Venue sourcing, Mirza. And similarly, I believe that he's a manager, and they both are particularly the managers as well, but he's the one that leads each and everything, like venue sourcing, scheduling, planning, procurement, supplier contracts. So this is all the things, logistical arrangement. That means this is done by Mirza, right? And similarly, budgeting, I guess the budgeting is involved by Jamie and then approved by Amanda. So why not you mention each and every person here, right? Why not you mention each and every person here who is responsible for what? So you must be naming or knowing each and everything, right? Like first, it's invitation to tender. Obviously, this is outside. This is not made by our employees, right? Then project initiation document. I guess you must have known this in questions like Railco or CoFold. We have discussed that. So we need to, before placing, we need to make project initiation document, right? Now, appoint event manager. What's event manager? What exactly is the event manager? They have to appoint that, right? Who's gonna leading that event? Then budgets, obviously the finance guy, Jimmy, I guess. Jimmy was the name, or Jamie? Yeah, Jimmy was the name here. Then submitting tender, right? Then schedule event program, I guess. Event scheduling, Mirza is involved here, right? So you should be knowing that which stage is being done by whom. Mirza again, detailed budgeting is Jimmy, right? Then event organization, setting up event team. Who's there? I guess setting up events team can be Dika, Dika's role, and events delivery as well, right? So it's Dika here, right? Then we have book the venue, again Mirza, arrange supplier, Mirza, Mirza, right? And then issue tickets. Tickets are being issued. I guess they haven't mentioned here. Then venue access control, detail, deliver event program, manage external suppliers, conduct post completion review, evaluate success criteria, and reports to clients. So these are kind of post delivery works, right? So what we did, we exactly analyzed who is involved in tender process to which extent. So I realized that Mirza is involved in tender process to a good extent. Then we have Jimmy as well. Then we have obviously Dika as well, but kind of a lower team. And then we have particularly the post event things, like we'll be conducting the completion review, the success criteria, the feedbacks, and each and everything. So these all things are also under review, right? Now, the process does not continue to this stage if the tenders is not successful and the contract not awarded to Rodman. So I guess this is the thing, that if tenders are not continued, so this stage is the last stage, right? If not continued, if not awarded, we don't do this, we don't do this, and we don't do this. If this is awarded, so we do these steps, right? Now, for private events, the same process is followed. Oh, it's not just for the tenders, right? It's for the private events as well. Although there is no need to tender, Rodney would simply meet the clients to discuss the requirements. So there's an initial meeting with the clients in private events, which is a good thing to get an understanding, right? So initial meetings with clients to get understanding, to know your client as well, right? As with tendering, if they are not engaged by the client, Rodnim will not progress beyond the outline planning stage, right? So that means in tendering, there are certain laws, there are certain regulations they need to follow, whereas in private, there are no laws, you need to meet with them, you need to have it them, whereas in tendering, you need to give planning planning of each and everything, and then they'll opt it. So there's a difference between the private and the tenders. In tenders, you write something and they opt for it. In private events, you meet with them and then you get their idea like what they want, and then you make an PID or whatever to pitch it, right? So this particularly is the stage, I believe, this particularly is the stage of complete tender process. And these points related to the tenders are important, like the process to continue to this stage. And similarly, for private events, the same process is followed, but again, the criteria for that is different. So they have given you this. Right, guys? Any questions if you have, please ask. Yes. Now, let's discuss the information system as well, right? Try to close information system by today. And then in upcoming part, I'll be doing extract from Rodning's website, risk register, risk again is here, performance, and tenders. Again, the data on tenders, right? So we have range of information system. One is event planning system. Again, it's business related, right? It's not related to any specific system. It's a business related system. What it done is the system is used to support planning and organizing all events in Rodney. So that means it's kind of a document in which we enter. This is the event. These are the contractors. These are the people. This is the cost. These are the things. And an event plan itself, right? It's an AI based. It might be an AI based system. The system includes a range of tools which are designed to enable each event to break down into activities. So what the thing is that we give idea of event to the system, right? And it break down the activities. Okay. So it's break down the activities effectively scheduled to deliver event on time within agreed budget. Now, what's the benefit of this particular? What's the benefit of this particular system? Is it's simple that if you mention all the details, this system is connected with each and everyone. So it's highly likely that if you have incorporated all the details, there's a best chance of the system will be effectively scheduled. There's a best chance that this system will be make sure that the event is on time, right? So it's kind of a control system, which is essential in this type of business, right? It's kind of a control system, which is essential for this type of business. Then we have ticketing system. Oh, that means ticketing was not a particular, that means that ticketing was not a particular man's role. It's kind of a system here. So it's also necessary, right? And in here includes a bespoke mobile app, right? You must have used the mobile apps for traveling purposes in which you get the QRs, kind of a tickets. So this is kind of a same thing I see, right? In fact, in the previous video, I shared about my Saudia's experience that I got a ticket and it was not the paper one. It was basically a ticket on my particularly app, right, of that particular application. And I just need to scan it to the barriers and I need to pass. So that QR code is basically your ticket. And similarly, if you travel, so you see that there are e-boarding passes, you just have to use it in mobile, right? So it's kind of a paper safety as well. And it's kind of a ticketing system. So they make, right, according, which allows people attending a Rodnim managed event to register and pay for it using their smartphone. Okay. So what's that? It's a ticketing system which allows people, right, that you can join the Rodnim managed event, right? You can join the Rodnim managed event if you have that app, right? Now the system generates tickets for each registered attendee and allocates seating. So it's kind of a same thing you do with the trains and airlines in your countries at the venue if this is required, and the tickets can be displayed as QR codes using the mobile app to allow attendees to gain entry to the event. So I guess the ticketing system, it's really simple, it's really easy, that there's an integrated system in which all the attendees would fill up something and they'll get the QR codes with the tickets, and at time of entrance they have to scan that and they'll allow entry. So it's a good system. And it's kind of a normal one in this. We cannot say this as a disruptive technology. It's not a difficult one here, right? Now, marketing system. The marketing system enables Rodnim to effectively promote the events it is managing. The marketing system is integrated with Rodnim's website and a range of social media. So it's kind of a particularly promotion of events, right? And it might be an application, it might be a system. Just like I recently interfaced with a system or with an application named as Social Jam. Now, what this particular app do, it integrates my FB, Insta, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and Reddit, each and every platform, and I just put the post, and each post is being posted on this. So it's kind of a marketing system now, rather than going on each and every head and clicking to post here, post there. It's just one click, and each and every platform is being posted. I don't know whom people follow and which particularly platform. So why not having a system like it, which effectively promote your events? So just like that, like if we have an event, we have a marketing system. We'll just put the details on the event, and they'll do the rest of the things. The last but not the least is management information system, right? Now, if you have an MIS, there's a high chance that you'll be talking about data storage. And if you have been talking about data storage, so again, a high chance for big data. Yeah, you guessed it right, guys. There's an close chances. If there's an MIS, right, there can be controls related question. And then there can be big data or storage related questions, right? What I'll be doing once I've analyzed this completely, all these requirements, I'll be sharing the number of questions you need to read the examiner answers, right? After the analysis of the last part, I'll be sharing the questions that you must need to read before going to exam, which will be covering these type of requirements. So in case if any of this requirement is being tested, you must have an idea because you have read the examiner answer. This will be one more thing that I can do for my students as well. Now, the MIS collates data into event planning, post-event reports. Now, these are the events, right? Post-events analysis. What went good and what went bad, right? So this can also be there. And then the system includes a range of data visualization tools which support management decision making. So there's a range of particularly visualization tools as well. Now, Rodnim uses an off-site data storage facility operated by specialist company, right? So there's an off-site data storage facility. Again, the control issues are here. The data is being stored somewhere. Data lost things are here, right? The other company is not that much reliable. So we are outsourcing our data storage facility. So here can be a good idea. They can make an exhibit that why not we should be going for big data, and you have to comment on the theory, and you have to now link it with this particular line. If the big data question is here, that you are storing the data outside, you should be going for cloud computing, or you should be going for big data rather than relying on a third party. If that third party, now what can be the consequences? Discuss now. What can be exactly the consequences? The consequences could be that the third party could also be engaged with our competitor, and the data manipulation can happen. They could attract these data if there are no contracts with them, right? So this is the things that we should be taking care of. Now, this particular thing, I believe, strengthens the chances of big data and data storage. So analyzing the pre-scene, we see that there are certain easy topics that have been frequently tested and are having the chances of being tested. Now, Rodnim's information for the forthcoming public events allows attendees to book online and provides details on how to contact Rodnim to help with any queries, post comments about their experiences. The website also contains information about its business philosophy. So that means our particularly website also have information on the forthcoming events, right? And it allows attendees to book online and provides details to contact Rodnim to help with any queries or bookings, right? So the website also contains information about the business philosophy. So guys, having these information systems, that means we are innovative, right? And we are innovative. We have the information systems as well. We have MIS, which have its pros and cons. Now, why not you refer my book in which management information software is there? And I have covered the theory as well. And you should be knowing the pros and cons as well, and referring the big data theory as well, because these are the highly chances that you can be tested in this case, right? At last, for this class, I'll be highlighting again the particular importance particularly for the crash course that we are going to offer. And it's simple that I'll be analyzing the complete pre-scene parts. I'll be solving the latest past papers. And the main thing is the 2 mocks based on pre-scene, which you can attempt, or one will be attempted by me. I'll be posting the classes, and one will be solved by you, and I'll be giving you individual feedback. And that feedback would be given before at least 3 to 4 days so that you can work on your answer, right? So guys, this was the 4th part, I guess, and we just need the last particular part to complete this, and then I'll be moving on to making the pre-scene based mocks. Hopefully, you would have particularly got an idea. We covered the information system as well. My number is with you. You can contact me on WhatsApp. And so far, we are left with this, which we'll be covering in our next part. Thank you.